And today we are going to be discuss about how exactly proactive protection, detection, and response, how the CyberArk will work. Basically, what I said, right? CyberArk is just managing the credentials for the human and non-human accounts, right? So that means in the CyberArk, the application team and other team members, they're supposed to be store the credentials into the CyberArk. Then CyberArk is the responsible to manage their credentials on behalf of them. So proactive protection means first they should be stored the secured credentials. Once they store the credentials in the sandbar, so it will be stored as a secured credential. That means it is going to be manage the credentials without any issues and security. It is going to be provide the security. Second, who will access these accounts? Who will access these accounts? Only authorized users can able to access these accounts. Others, no, it will not allow to access these accounts. Correct, right? If everyone will access this PAM, then what is the use? And everyone will able to access those accounts, then definitely there is no security, right? So that's why it is allowing access only for the authorized users. That means whoever is required access, for those people only can able to access respective accounts. As I mentioned yesterday, right? There would be two departments, HR and finance, and you both are from the different department, but only you need it for access for your accounts. So similarly, other person needs their access on it. That's why we need to be work. So here only authorized people can able to access to their respective accounts. Next, individual accountability. Once you store your account, and that means once you onboard your account in the PAM, then there will be a provide accountability for that. What happened to your account? When it's going to be connect to the account, and why? Who is going to be connect to the accounts? And if you are trying to connect to the target system from PAM, and if you are getting some issue, then it will be recorded. And every time it will send a notification to you, hey, this password has been changed because of the time period. As per the policy, the password has been changed. So like that. Session and next one is session isolation. Okay. So session isolation is nothing but accountability. After accountability, it will, when you are connecting to the target system, right, it will be isolate the sessions. Each and everything it will be isolate because it will especially monitoring that what is happening, why or who is connecting and what that user is doing. All these things it will be do on the session monitoring. On the session isolation. Next one is limit scope of privileges. So we are not going to be provide once you onboard your account in the PAM. So we are not allowed to provide complete access to the all the users. Only limited users can able to do can able to do the changes in the target system. But so we are going to be stop that. So we are going to be limit the scope of privileges. So what kind of privileges we are going to be living? So we are going to be restrict the person doesn't require access to the to change the password. Otherwise, what will happen, right? For example, Monica is connected. Okay, Monica is connected to the target system, and she is trying to change the password at the target system. We don't know why she was trying to change the password, right? So if you're trying to change the password, and then definitely that would be a risk for us, right? So once you onboarded your accounts into the PAN, then CyberArk is the responsible to change the password as per the policy. Unfortunately, so Monica is trying to change the password because yesterday itself password manager had changed the password and today she is trying to change the new password. Then that would be a risk, right? So these kind of privileges we are going to be limit. We are not going to be allowed. When this will be monitor all these things whenever you are connecting your account from PAM. I'm always telling when once you onboard your account in the PAM, then whenever you are connecting your application from PAM, then PAM is the responsible to monitor all these things. If you are connecting outside of the PAM, then PAM is not responsible. Clear? One way, if you onboard all your accounts into the CyberArk, that is fine. But only thing is, company is supposed to be purchase more licenses, right? So all CyberArk will work as per the license basis, right? So usually, what will happen, right? They feel that okay, this is more important, and we are not able to. There could be some risk If someone is hacking these credentials, might be they will choose the CyberArk to manage the credentials for that. So how exactly earlier the people will use to manage the credentials, right? They used to manage one Excel sheet, or they used to update into the different third-party tools, and they will rotate the password whenever they require. Correct?
Yep.
So there could be some risk there because we don't know. Because for human intervention, definitely, what I used to do, I worked on the for 4 months for Active Directory as well, right? So what I used to do, I used to maintain one bulk Excel sheet. That means big Excel sheet for all the accounts, all the users. So whenever time comes, right, I used to create one password, that is password at the rate 123. So after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, as per the policy, I used to change password at the rate 231 or password at the rate 213. Similarly, I used to change that. I will not change the password here. So in the password, directly I'm changing only one word, correct? So if you're changing like that, definitely that would be a risk for us, right?
Yeah.
That's why, that's why people will decide to give these credentials. These are very important for the organizations, and they will ask PAM team to store those credentials on behalf of them. Then PAM is responsible to store that. All depends upon the business, I can say. So the organizations, let's assume that most of the organizations, I can give you an example as a bank, right? See, if you're clear trying to say, if you have good idea about bank, okay, banking transactions and everything, right? So if you see the bank, right? So in the bank, is the big customers are there. Big means whoever is having more money, those are big customers. And the local customers are also there, right? So bank doesn't have any restrictions. Okay, my bank is required only these kind of people. The similarly, CyberArk also doesn't have any restrictions. They can onboard any type of accounts into the CyberArk. When the company is increasing to onboard their account into CyberArk, definitely CyberArk supposed to be purchase new license and all. See, 1 lakh accounts, it will be managed one license. 2 lakhs accounts, 3 lakhs accounts, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs. So we need to be maintain that license as per the requirement of the business. Apart from that, nothing. We can onboard n number of accounts from any type of application. Clear? Next one is target detection. So once you connected your target station, and if you're trying to change the password, or if you're trying to do any configurations on the target side, then it will be detected, continuously monitoring. It will be continuously monitoring that. So what kind of it will be monitored? There could be malicious behavior, high risk behavior. These are the things it will be monitored at. High risk or malicious behavior. Someone is trying to change the password, or someone is trying to update the config file, someone is trying to change the IP address of the server. So all these things it will monitor and it will be detected. Once it detected, then what it is going to be do? It will send as a alert. It will send as an alert. Once alert will be sent to whom? Alert will be sent to the security team. The alerts will be sent to the security team. Then next, what is going to be do CyberArk? Then it will also do the real-time response. It will also do the real-time response. There are the two ways it is going to be do. First, it will be monitor each and everything, and it will be detect. Once it is detected that there could be some suspicious activities, then it will send an alert to the security team. And next step, it will also take the real-time response. And that means it is going to be do the session suspension or termination further. If you are trying to change the password, immediately it will send a notification to the audit team. Security, audit and security both are same. It will send to the audit team and immediately it will suspend the session as well. That will take responsibility by CyberArk. Okay, CyberArk PAM tool. And also it will also record the sessions, full forensic record of activity. Each and everything what you are doing and everything it is going to be record that sessions. Clear. Now, we are going to be discuss about the key features of the CyberArk. So we have a 5 key features, most important key features. If you understand the above one, above slide, then key features would be very easy because the similar we are going to be discuss as well. Now, discover and manage the credentials. Isolate credentials and sessions, record and audit sessions, monitor privileged activity, remediate risky behavior. Remediate risky behavior. First one is discover and manage the credentials. It would be an automated process for the account discovery. So basically, there are two ways. There are four ways which we can do the accounts onboarding into the CyberArk PAM. So one would be the Discover means it will automatically, our CyberArk PAM tool will automatically connect to the respective servers, that mean Windows or Linux, whatever it is, and respective domain. And it will automatically take those credentials from the respective servers, and it will automatically onboard into the CyberArk PAM instead of doing manually. Okay, this I will show you in the lab as well so that you will get full clarity on that end while doing the account onboarding. So automated processes for the account discovery. And once you onboard your accounts into the CyberArk PAM, then CyberArk is the responsible to manage the passwords, right? As per the password complexity and length and rotation frequency. Let's assume that you mentioned as a CyberArk policy, you mentioned as a CyberArk policy is a 60 days, then CPM will change the password every 60 days for those respective accounts. Okay, so once CPM will change the password, it will store into the vault. Where the CPM will change the password? First, CPM will change the password at the target side because CPM will connect to the target system. Target means whatever account which you onboard. CPM will connect to the target system and update, change the password, new password, and the same password which will be stored into the vault. Because the passwords always should be synced between target and vault. Okay. If you are not syncing the passwords between vault and target system, then it would be getting error, right? Users will not able to connect to the target system. Correct? Application. For example, you are there, right? You are working as
Yep.
one of the tool that is SailPoint tool. So there are few important accounts are there because when you are logging to the system every day and you need to be connected to your application as well. Correct? If you want to connect to your application through your laptop, instead of that, you already you onboarded your credentials into the PAM. Then first you need to be logged into the PAM. From the PAM, you are going to be connect your application directly. Correct. Because you are already onboarded your credentials in the PAM. Once you onboarded those credentials, once you connected to the target system, after onboarded your credentials, then you connected your target system. From there, first our CPM also will do the same process on the back. But if you are not able to connect to the target system because the password has been changed at the target side as well as the vault side, maybe there could be out of sync between the target and vault. Here the two databases. Okay, always remember there are two databases. The password, whatever you are going to be stored in the vault means CyberArk PAM. So whatever you are going to be do into the CyberArk PAM, the same password supposed to be stored into the target side as well. Okay. If the target side, the password has been changed, or someone has changed, or administrator has changed, okay, then you are not able to connect your application directly because it is getting the password unsynced, right? If you change the password for your system, okay, you are forgetting your password, the new password you forgot. Are you able to log in your system? CPM is always whenever changing the password at the target system, the same password it will be stored into the vault as well. Clear? It's very simple. Whatever the password is there, right? In the CyberArk wall, the same password supposed to be there into the target system. If the target system password and vault password, CyberArk vault password would be the different, then users will not able to connect to the target system. Correct? If the users is not able to connect to the target system, definitely there could be out of sync password. If the password is out of sync, then what could be the next action? That's why we are always, our CyberArk PAM is always, whenever the password is changing by CPM, because CPM is our own tool, CPM is our own component, that is Central Policy Manager component. Okay, this tool will connect to the target system directly whenever changing the, as per the policy. The CPM will connect to the target system and initiate the change request and it will be changed the password by CPM. Once password has been changed, the same password, it's supposed to be updated into the digital vault. Okay. That means it will not get any out of sync passwords between vault and target system. Target system is nothing but your application. Okay, just imagine that there would be one application that is your target application, and those credentials you onboard into the PAM. But suddenly, what happened? Your target system, your application side, you connected out of the PAM, and your administrator has been changed the password. Then we don't know. CyberArk doesn't know when the password has been changed. Then, when you are trying to connect from PAM, when you are trying to connect from PAM, do you think you are able to connect to the PAM? Is your application will allow the same credentials? You know, right? Authentication process.
Yeah.
Okay. What exactly authentication will do, right? The first application will validate the credentials on the backend. Then only it will allow you to access the respective application. Correct?
Yeah.
So whenever you are connecting from PAM or whenever you are connecting outside of the PAM or whenever you are connecting through RDP, you need to be provide the credentials, right? Username and password.
Yeah.
Once you provided the credentials, then application on the back end, it will be validate those credentials are there or not. Then they will think that it is everything is fine. Then it will allow you to access that particular application. Okay. Similarly, here, if out of sync, the password is out of sync between target and SIP or vault, definitely you are not able to connect to the target system, right? Both passwords are different. When you are trying to connect to the application, your application, you are taking the credentials from the vault only, right?
Yeah.
So the vault credentials and target system credentials both are different. Now, do you think, are you able to connect to the target system? Because the credentials, whatever you stored, whatever we are storing in the vault is different. Whatever the credentials was created on the target side is different. Correct?
Yeah.
That's why you are not able to connect to the application. Next, isolate credentials and sessions. Now, isolate the credentials and sessions. So once you onboarded, once you change the password and everything is fine, then what needs to be do? Then user is trying to access to the target system, right? Once user is trying to access the target system, now you can see here. See, this is the complete flow. Okay. First, you need to be on board your credentials into the CyberArk. Then next step would be CPM is responsible to change the password. CPM is also our component. That means our means CyberArk PAM component. When it is changing, that is fine. Everything is looks work. Then user is trying to access to the target server. Target server. So how he will access to the target server? There will be another component that is called password vault web access. Password vault web access. This is a web-based interface which it will allow users to access to the CyberArk path. Okay. CyberArk enables secure connection to the critical systems using the proxy. So the user is trying to access to the target server with the help of PSM. So PSM. So why the PSM? What exactly PSM will do? I mentioned, right? Isolate the credentials and sessions. The PSM is responsible to isolate the credentials and PSM is responsible to recording the sessions. Okay. Because without recording, how do you know what user is trying to do, what user is trying to change, what user is doing in the server, right? So the PSM is the responsible. It is going to be recording the sessions. It is going to be recording the sessions. When Monica is trying to access to the target server, yes, it will allow you to access to the server, but without knowing credentials. You just click on connect button and connect to your application. On the back end, PSM is responsible to get the credentials from the wall and it will allow you to connect to the target system. Once you connect to the target system, PSM is responsible. PSM is nothing but privileged session manager. So privileged session manager is going to be recording the sessions. So what exactly Monica is doing, what Vinay is doing. So it will be record the session. It will not, it will be only video. It is not an audio format. Okay. So only text format is going to be recorded as well as video format it is going to be recorded. The target systems are fully isolated. Privileged credentials are not exposed to end users. Privileged target systems are fully isolated and privileged accounts are not exposed to end users. Okay, it is not going to be exposed to the end users. The reason is if CyberArk is going to be allow you to expose the credentials to the end user, then they might be written somewhere, right? If they will return somewhere, definitely that will be a risk, right? That's why CyberArk is not going to be allowed. Not going to be allowed end users to see the credentials. Okay. So whenever you are connecting your target system from the CyberArk, your PSM is responsible to record the sessions. PSM is responsible to isolate the sessions. Okay. CyberArk is not going to be recommend direct connections to that. Direct means you are taking the credentials from the CyberArk and you are connecting outside of the farm. So it will not be recorded because we don't know what is happening. All right? We don't know what is happening. So it's very simple. You are depositing your money into the bank, right? So once you take money from bank, if you go to the bank and you are taking your money from bank, then bank is not responsible. What is happening? But once you transfer your account from bank, then bank is the response. Correct? This is how it will be recording the sessions. Once it is recording, right? Now you can see the next one is third option, record and audit the sessions. Record and audit the sessions. Record and audit the sessions. You can see this is the way it is going to be recorded the sessions. The privileged sessions are recorded in the video or text format. Okay. And it is also storing into the vault because vault is our database, right? It will be stored and encrypted in the tamper resistant digital vault. All the recordings will be stored for audit purpose and we need to be do the audit for quarterly basis as well. Recordings have a clickable timeline to navigate specific events. Just click on this and you can see that who has navigated and what has happened at this time. Whenever you are clicking on something, it will be so like this. Okay. Now, monitor the privileged activity. Monitor the privileged activity. Cyber session monitoring enables a review of recordings and live sessions, which can be sorted based on the risk. So what I mentioned, right? Once it is recording everything, it will also monitor the activity. So if you feel our CyberArk tool will feel that there could be high risk. Now you can see someone is trying to change the password. It could be high risk, right? So you can see here. So what happens? Strongest impact activity event on the so and so time, and you can see the password. It's trying to change the password. Then it will be send this notification to the audit team. You can see this. This is happening in the active monitoring sessions, right? Live monitoring sessions. So once it is monitoring that, immediately it will be send a notification. And also it will see this is how it will be send a notification to the security team, and it is also taking the your session has been suspended. So remediate risky behavior, it's very simple. So CyberArk can automatically rotate the credentials in the event of risky behavior, such as credential theft, bypassing and bypassing the digital vault, all these things. It will automatically take, your session has been suspended. If something happened, if the tool will feels that CyberArk password is going to be changed, immediately it will take an action. It will take as an action. Okay. Now, so these are the important features. So next one is system architecture. So what is the system architecture? So we want to discuss about the components, right? So maybe you may get you may get some doubt as well. So what is digital vault? What is password vault, web access? What is CPM? What is central policy manager? What is the PSM, privilege session manager? These things you may get the question because we were discussing about these components on the features side, right? So now the digital vault, you can see this. Digital Vault is what I mentioned. Digital Vault is our database, right? Digital Vault is a secure server. It is going to be stored. It is going to be stored a privileged accounts information. It is going to be stored privileged account information based on the hardened Windows Server platform. Based on the hardened Windows Server platform. So basically, this is our vault. The vault is our heart for the PAM tool. So Vault without Vault is not working. For example, Vault is not working. Entire CyberArk PAM tool is not going to be Vault because everything is depending on the Vault. Everything depending on the Vault. Okay, clear? So digital vault is one of the important server and it is highly risk server and it is going to be stored into the this digital vault. We are going to be create a server as a work group, not into the domain. So this is a private server, not this server is not going to be joined as a domain. This password vault web access. This is the second component for us. This is very important because we don't have a direct access to the vault. Users, if you want to do any changes, you don't have an access to the vault. Vault is a private server, right? Vault component is a private server. It will not allow users to connect to the vault server directly. Then, so how do you connect to the vault? Then we can use the Passport Vault web access URL. So Passport Vault web access is a web interface for the users to gain access to the privileged account information because all our accounts information which is going to be stored into the vault. Then how users will access to the vault? With the help of Passport Vault web access, the users will connect to the vault. Then they can able to retrieve their credentials to connect their application, right? So password vault web access is one of the web interface for the users to gain access to the privileged accounts information, and it will used by the vault administrator to configure the policies. So next one is central policy manager. Next one is central policy manager. That is called third component. This is CPM. Central policy manager, what exactly it will be performed? CPM is going to be perform the password changes on the devices and scans the network for the privileged accounts. CPM will do only password changes, guys. Only password changes. And the second one, it is going to be, I mentioned, right? It will do the discovery, right? CPM is the responsible to connect to the respective servers and scan that respective network and able to retrieve the credentials from the network to CyberArk. So CPM will do second option, that is the scans the network for the privileged accounts. It will connect to the respective target application and automatically it will scan the accounts and it will do the account discovery from that server to that server to CyberArk PAM. Okay. CPM only performs the password changes on the devices as per the policy which we were configured on the vault. And the fourth one is privilege session manager. The fourth one is privilege session manager. So what is PSM? Privilege session manager is nothing but PSM. So this component will do isolates and monitors privileged account activity. Isolates, monitors privileged account activity. So whenever you are trying to connect to the target system through PSM, then PSM is responsible to isolate your session. And also it is going to be monitor the privileged activity, what is happening and what you are doing. And if you are trying to change the password, then PSM is the responsible. And also it is going to be recording the privileged account sessions. So whatever accounts you are going to be on board into the CyberArk, so CyberArk will feel that those are the privileged accounts. Okay. And the last one is privilege threat analytics. Privilege threat analytics. So monitors and detects malicious privileged accounts behavior. So PT is going to be monitor and detect that malicious privileged account behavior. And once it is detect that, it will take an action as well. Okay, immediately it will take an action. So PTA is doing very simple job. So just monitors and detect the malicious privileged accounts behaviors. Okay, now we can see this. As I mentioned, right, volt is the main for everything. And you can see this diagram if you are able to understand. Each and every component will connect to the vault. Each and every component will connect to the vault because the vault is our database. For example, if you connected password vault labels, PVW will connect to the vault and retrieve the credentials for you. And PSM also will connect to the vault. CPM also will connect to the vault. And target missions also will connect to the vault. Okay, everything is depending on the vault only. Okay. So now, how exactly this will provide the end-to-end security? How exactly, once you onboard your account, right, it's supposed to be provide end-to-end security for that account. So how the CyberArk is going to be provide end-to-end security? You can see here, vault user and stored the credentials. How it is exactly this is going to be provide the end-to-end security. So there are 7 layers of security it is going to be provide for that account. First one is session encryption. First one is session encryption. So proprietary protocol and open SSL encryption. Proprietary protocol is nothing but it is going to be allow only one-way communication. It is going to be allow only one-way communication that is called The port number is 1858. Always remember, guys, CyberArk internal communication port number is 1858, 1858. Okay. So Vault is going to be allow the communication from that port only. Other than that, it will not allow you to access your Vault server. Okay. And also, whenever you are connecting to the PAM, it should be open SSL encryption. You know, right? SSL, single sign-on certificate. SSL certificate is most important because whenever you are trying to connect to the server, whenever you're trying to connect to the server, SSL is the responsible to validate on the backend keys and everything, and it will allow the request whether we need to be allow or deny. These things will take care by the SSL. Okay, the sessions will be monitored. That next one is firewall. Next one is firewall. So hard-ended built-in Windows firewalls, because as I mentioned, that it is only allowing access for the 1858. So firewalls, we are going to be close everything. We are going to close everything. See, all communication will happen in between the servers based upon the ports. Right. What ports you are going to be open on what basis it is going to be communicate to each other. So here we are going to be block the firewalls. We are going to be hardened built-in Windows firewall because we are not going to be allowed to access to the vault for all the ports. We are going to be allow only one port, that is called 1858 port number. Next one is authentication. It will be authentication. Whenever you are accessing to the PAM, you need to be authenticate yourself. There are the two ways of authentication. One is single factor authentication. Second one is dual factor authentication. Okay. So single or two factor authentication. Always CyberArk will be recommended two factor authentication. So single means you need to enter your credentials. That is your username and password. Then it will be access to the PAM. Two factor authentication is nothing but you need to be enter one more authentication. It could be OTP or it could be RSA token or it could be different, anything. So you need to be entered two ways of authentication because one more authentication tool which we are going to be do the integration. So this authentication tool will be validate on the back end whether your updated credentials are correct or not. Then it will allow you to access the PAN. Okay. Next one is discretionary access control. Discretionary access control. Discretionary access control is nothing but granular based upon your role, right? So you will get the by default permissions, how to access and what needs to be done by default. For example, you joined as a manager, then you will get more permissions, right? Based on your role, definitely you will get some permissions default. Sometimes, right? You may require to perform another activity. On that day, you may require some extra permissions. So that is called granular permissions. Whenever you need some access, extra access, when you need to be request on for that day, yes, you have to be request. Then you can close your task. Later, you don't have that kind of access. Based on your role, yes, it will be provide access. That is fine. But some emergency situations or something what happened or you're going to be doing upgradation or you're going to be doing some patching activities, whatever it is, you may require some extra permissions. And today itself, yes, you can request on a day, get the approval from the CyberArk team, and they will provide you the access for the day alone. That is called granular permissions. Whenever you need access, yes, you can able to request the access. Next is mandatory access control. Next one is mandatory access control. So what is mandatory access control? So mandatory access control is nothing but subnet based access control on time limits and delays. So here we are going to be restricted at the subnet level if required, or we are also going to be restricted to the users. Okay, we are going to be allow the users to, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. From 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. or 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that is how it is going to be requested. So we can restrict to the people as well because we don't want to allow. That is an option is there. We don't want to allow users to access every time to the PAM. Because if you are allowing every time to the PAM and this is an unauthorized person, then it would be a problem. That's why, for example, Monica is visited in India. Okay. She need access for only 3 days because she visited with her. Yes, for only 3 days, we can enable access for her from this time to this time and this time, this day to this day. So that is called mandatory access control. And that also we need to be get the proper approval from the top management. So that is how we are going to be provide mandatory access control. Okay. And also we are going to be restrict the access at the subnet level. That means domain, that means region level. Okay. And next one is auditing. So tamper-proof audit trail and event-based alerts. Our situation something comes, immediately it will send to the alerts. So each and everything we are doing audit on quarterly basis. Okay, each and every activity, whatever you are going to be performing in the PAM, there could be some reason and we are going to be do the audit purpose as well. And next one is file encryption. Next one is file encryption. So file encryption, hierarchical encryption model and every object as unique. Hierarchical encryption model, every object as a unique. That means whatever credentials, for example, you are going to be on board how many 1 lakh account, 2 lakh accounts, but it will be created unique identity, separate key for all. Key means password. Okay. So there would be a separate password for all the accounts. It will not include this. It will not include the similar password for all the accounts. So it will be segregate the separate passwords for all the accounts. Clear? So this is how it is going to be provided end-to-end security. And